Hi, in this video I'll be looking at the causes of why this Akai is not functioning properly. The owner wanted the belts replaced, it wasn't rewinding, and it didn't want to play in the reverse direction, as well as one of the VU meters was playing up. To get to the mechanism, I have removed the top cover, the bottom cover, as well as the fascia. The power board is directly behind the mechanism as well. And here on the left hand side pinroller, you can see that spring out of tension on the pinroller arm. This is what I've noticed before I started pulling the deck apart. And the main belt, the main flat belt on this machine, looks suspiciously new. I don't think it's original belt, although some of it, well, the other square belt has not been replaced and does look loose, as well as a counter belt that also looks loose. The square belt does, however, look really fresh on this machine. Looking at the machine still with its bottom cover on, these are the holes on the bottom cover for recording level adjustment. And that's how it looks under there with the bottom cover removed. This is the pots for the recording level adjustments on the board. And even with the bottom cover removed, there's no access to the mechanism from below. I have removed the fascia panel as well, and now have good access to the mechanism from the front. But that was pretty obvious that this has to be done. The complete steel cassette door had to come out as well to get to the rest of the mechanism. So as far as the front goes, I think it will be these 4 screws, that one there, that one, and these 2. That's as far as the front goes, and possibly be more underneath the machine as well. And even on the side, like that one, and where is it? That one there. And that would be at least that one, maybe this one, and some of these perhaps, maybe this nut. We'll see how we go. And just after removing these 3, it's all fairly loose. It's not exactly coming out by itself, but it's loose. And this nut here is the pivot point for that lever for all this recording switches thingies. Yeah. Disconnect the power button, and that will come this way, I think. Yeah, that just pushes onto the switch here. The backing plate can come off. Here's the counter belt, and it's loose. And this I've seen earlier. That spring's not hooked onto that lever on the left hand side. It's all loose. And it's not staying there. for whatever reason. Like on this one here, it's got nice spring to it. So I have moved the spring into tension. Now it hooks on here, and instead of sticking out this way, it's going in that way, and it's sitting in tension, and that still doesn't do anything. This whole shaft still wobbles. Yeah, it's not happening here. And just to make it clear, it's not the shaft that wobbles, it's that arm that wobbles on the shaft. Here on the motor in the center, that's its speed adjustment there on this side apparently, and that's the rest of the mechanism there. And that 4-track head, double erase head. So again, looking at this lever from the side, looking from the other side, there's nothing loose there, and the spring has been installed in tension. So I'm inclined to think there was either a bush inside there, a plastic bush, but that would still not make it act like that. It would stop the wobbling, but wouldn't make it act like that. So perhaps I'm thinking maybe there was another spring inside there, keeping all this in tension from the inside of the shaft as well. Now obviously I can't source a spring for a 40, 50, 45 or something 50-year-old cassette deck. So I'm going to have to return this deck to the owner as it is. Initially I thought it would be a bush, but the bush it would stop it from wobbling from side to side, but it would not put this in tension like that. There is another spring behind there, that one, and there is also one on this side. You can see that, and it's connected and everything right there. And yeah, obviously I can't be making spares for this. I can't make spares for this. If you had a 3D printer, you could perhaps print a plastic bush if it's all it was, but yeah, I'm inclined maybe it's a spring that's missing in as well. Maybe a bush and no spring even, who knows. And here's sketchy sketch. I could be wrong about this, but I think it could be just a spring that fits inside a pinroller shaft onto that inner shaft, or perhaps a bushing with a spring wound around it that also fits inside the pinroller shaft over the mounting shaft, and perhaps that sort of arrangement acted on the pinroller itself, but yeah, it's difficult to say, and I certainly don't have access to spare parts to this deck, so yeah, I'm afraid I'll have to wrap it up. There's one more thing I want to have a look at. So I'm going to try with the power on, and now it's using this capstan here, and it's not going anywhere. Now when I switch it over to this capstan still moves. So I was just thinking maybe that auto reverse will take up the slack, but unfortunately no. There's probably a bush. It's probably a bush that's missing in that arm there. And it's going to switch over to this one, and there's no movement in this one. Bush, I think would have to be. It's missing a bush in there. And on a different note, the deck did debug itself, and I mean that literally. There was a bug that crawled out of it, and it looked like this. I think it's a larva of some sort of moth. But watch what it does. It's crawling this way towards me and the camera, and then pops its head in, closes up the entrance like that, and pops its bleeding head out the other side and leaves. And I think this was living inside that deck. Yeah, I think it came crawling out of it. Thank you for watching, and see you next or one of the previous videos. Don't go away.